Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Abby with Abby Reviews, and this is going to be my review of David Makes Man, Season 2, Episode 2, Hurston. I know a lot of people don't like the time jump. I'm still reserving judgment. We're going to see what happens. Let's jump into the episode, shall we? Okay, so we're at Hurston. This is where we start. We've gone back in time. And David's clearly made to Hurston. He has this little group of friends. They racing. They can't never catch him. They're going to have to let that go. So they're sitting at the lunch table. And this little apparently gay boy walks past the table and waves at one of the friends. And the little boy is, of course, doing that masculine, make an ugly face, all that other stuff. And David was like, you doing too much. And he was like, well, I just feel like I got to let him know I ain't with that gay shit. He was like, well, what did you do to confuse him? So I was like, oh, not what did you do to confuse him? Oh, no, not that. Oh, no. And so David is like, I had a friend who was gay in middle school, who apparently was gay in middle school. He was my friend. As long as he had my back, we was good. So you don't have to do all of that extra. And he was like, I'm going to have to switch. He's like, I'm mad that he's my study partner. He's like, what you should be mad about is the fact that you have a study partner and your ass is still failing. Jesus Christ. I am too through. Okay, so David wakes up and he has the bed. The bed is wet. I don't know why. I don't know if he peed or what. But he's trying to sneak the sheets off so he can wash them. And his roommate wakes up and he starts to stutter. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to wake you, blah, blah, blah. The roommate is like, this is all boys school. Dreams are common, I show you my trick. He sleeps with a towel over his lap. He's like, if you stay ready, you ain't never got to get ready. He's like, you gonna wash my towel? He's like, ew, you're nasty. You're not doing that. But they laugh it off, and then he's like, his calculator is broken and he has to get a new one, and it's $200 and he don't have it. He's like, his roommate is like, I have my old one, you just have to keep it charged or it's gonna die. And so he lets him borrow it, and it indeed dies while he's in the middle of taking his test. And he goes to the teacher and asks, so David's trying to get this test done, and his calculator goes out, and he goes up to the teacher. He's like, I'm sorry, it died. And she was like, it's always something with you. She got a bad attitude. I don't know if I like this math teacher lady. Just let the baby charge his thing. You ain't got to give him all of that extra feedback. None of that's unnecessary. Standing in front of the class, and of course his imagination goes crazy, and he feels like everybody is staring at him like, oh, poor, pitiful David, homeless, destitute baby. That's what it was giving me. That's what it was giving me. So, David is working at the library as a part, I guess, of his scholarship and be at Hurston. And his roommate and friend comes up to him and he's trying to get him to do this prank, this school class prank with him. And he was like, I'm not trying to get in no trouble. I don't understand why you want me to do this so bad. And he's like, because it's no fun without you. Because you the life of the party, I guess. So they sneak out. They Mission Impossible out of the library. And they meet up with the other guys. And the one boy, why so destructive, young man? He wanted to set the pool. Broke that down like a fraction. He was like, arson is 30 years in jail. What we not finna do is that. We gonna do something else. We still gonna do something with the pool, but we not gonna set the pool on fire. So they get these purple metallic strips, sticky strips, and put class of 2012 on the pool floor, and some pink dye to turn the water a different color, I think, or bubble bath, or I don't know what that was. But it's real cute. The water turns purple, which I guess is the colors or whatever. But then the little boy who was trying to be hyper masculine about the little gay boy who likes him, he says, I didn't think that we would get along when Miguel said that you were cute, this little library boy who was here last year that nobody knew about. But now I can't think of going a year without you. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the brotherhood. Let's take a toast to D Money for being a cool cat. I've got to get my life together. So they're on a field trip in seaweed, seabed, sea something. And David goes over, well, his little friends was like, oh, she's fine as hell, and blah, blah, blah. He's like, I know her, we went to school together. And they was like, oh, David's the man, go talk to her. So he goes over to talk to her, they're speaking, and she sees his little stupid friends making gestures behind his back, which he can't see. And she was like, what you come over here and talk to me for? And he was like, to be nice, I missed you, all the things we did together again. Like, I don't understand. She's like, and what about Saren? And he's like, Saren was my best friend. I think about him all the time. If it wasn't for me, he would. Wait. Don't let the cat out the bag that you was the one to help him get away from his family. Amen. After that little altercation, he goes back to his friends. He's like, what did he say? He never says what she said. But they just take it to mean like he got in good with her. Moving on. So his roommate and friend is going home for the weekend, and he's helping him carry his bags. And as they're getting closer to, I guess, where his dad was going to pick him up, his friend tried to take the bag from him, and he was like, no, I'll walk you to the car. I don't want you to have no light-skinned excuse about you being hurt when you come back so you can't help finish the project and all this stuff. And he was like, and he made several attempts, to take the bag and leave David behind. But David wouldn't allow him to. And then when he got there, his daddy said something about the Negro in Spanish to his son, and his son made an explanation, and they were talking in Spanish in front of David. And David, as he took his bag and getting ready to walk away, David says buenas tardes, something in Spanish, and the daddy was shook. He was like, he speaks Spanish? And he was like, y'all be safe, and then walked away, and they was both looking dumb in the face. Judging that book by its cover don't ever turn out well for people. I don't understand. Did he just call him a nigga? Twice? Did he just say nigga twice? Did the little white boy? They decided to do a little freeze. David was trying to teach the children about how to read Shakespeare. And he's like, if you add a beat to it and read it like a rhyme and a verse, that it's understandable. So they start freestyling. And then the one little white boy this is why we can't have nice things. This is fucking it up. This little cracker talk about he gonna pass it to his nigga D Money. And David is like, no, you're not. You're not gonna pass it to, not to me, because who the fuck are you talking? I don't know what your ethnicity is, but it's smelling a lot like cracker. And I need you to keep your cracker ass out of my black business. I know this motherfucking white teacher is not saying the N-word is no excuse. And talk about, I heard you use it with your friends. But it's not okay for this white boy to call you. I'm about to punch you in your face, sir. Not only did David clocked his friend because he kept calling him nigga, now I'm about to clock this white teacher and really get put out of school. Are you drunk? What is wrong with... He set a boundary with this boy, and the boy stepped all over the boundary. And then you got a nerve. You want to use this flawed logic, well, y'all use it, so why can't he use it? You really said, why can't he use the word? You really said, why can't he use the word? Because I said so. And I'm the authority, or who can use the word in my presence. I wish the child, I'd have got expelled from the school. Yo, crack. He'd have been every cracker, hunky, fix it, Jesus. So this white boy called me nigga 72 times after I told him not to. And then pushed me and provoked me to knock his ass the fuck out. And now I'm in trouble. I'm suspended. His little cracker ass is going down to the fucking nurse to see about that eye that's got swole shut. Go on, send my baby home for the week. he need a vacation. We going to the amusement park. We going to get ice cream because he wasn't wrong. And we gonna celebrate this as a win because you should have knocked him the fuck out. Say hey. Good night, Tootie. David then came home and he thought JG was about to get into an altercation with the dope boys, but that wasn't what it was. They was just joking. So he talked to them for a minute, and they said things been quiet since Shinobi and Rainen shut down shop. Shinobi. Okay, I'm gonna get my feelings. I'm gonna get out of my feelings about Shinobi. Then he goes to tell his mama that he got suspended, and she doesn't blow up like he thought she was going to. She tells him that she's getting ready to move. She's found a place, and she is fostering a kid. He's fostering a kid for Miss Elijah named Zion, who was in his room and I think wearing his slides. So David is a ball of confusion. He's like, what the fuck is going on? I've stepped into the Twilight Zone. So it's too much happening. It's sensory overload. Okay, so David is looking for the book that Sky gave him. And he's like, well, Mom gave a lot of our old stuff away. He was like, what? Did she sell it? Is she okay? And he was like, she seems real like calm and shit. Something's not right. He's just like, no, she's doing good. She's going to meetings. Everything is fine. And then they have a little brother talk about JG having erections unexpectedly and what to do about it. Like when he's in class, he had to go stand up in front of the board. So he told him to flip it up and pull his shirt over so until it go back down. And so David emails Dr. Woodstrap and tells him about his suspension and what happened. And Dr. Woodstrap gives him a tough lesson about you beg to go to the school that's 80% white. Why would you think that there wouldn't be instances of racism? And I know if you got friends there, but you at some point you may find your friends, when racism happens, your friends is there smiling and laughing, or standing there with knives in their teeth. You got to learn to deal with it and be expecting it at any given time. Don't let it catch you off guard. Brilliant advice. She's like, you can do this. You got this. So they're trying to make me feel sympathy for the little white boy, but we gonna get there. So David comes back to Hurston and he sits down and he has a conversation with Louise, the roommate with the racist daddy. And he was like, you know, my dad is old school Cuban. He thinks he can say anything to anyone at any time. And he's like, I told my whole family about you. I told them how smart you are and how you're my best friend. And we're like brothers here. And he's like, and my abuelita, when my daddy started to tell a black joke, smacked him right upside the head. And he was like, your granddaddy was black? And he was like, he talked to my grandmama. Our whole family is mulatto. Okay. And so the other friends are at the door. And they're like, they come in. And the little boy who was drunk and calling him nigga gave David a hug and said, thank you. And he was like, thank you. He's like, because you could have ratted me out. You could have told them I was drunk. And that's why I was acting like that. And you stuck to bro code. And I appreciate it. Because my mother would have put me in rehab again. These children are in the 10th grade. You going to rehab again? I'm like, David, again? How many times have you been to rehab, love? Again? Jesus, Mary and Joseph. That still don't give you a pass for calling me the N-word because you was drunk. But they gon' chalk it up and try and get back on track with this project. Truce lasted all of 15 fucking seconds. They try to get this project done, and all of a sudden, the little white boy is being a jackass again. He done called gay, said he replaced Saren with Louise. He done used the F slur. This little boy, he bad news. And now they caused division between him and Louise, who were at a good place. And now they about to fight each other. Talk about you just mad because my ignorant black ass is smarter than you, faster than you, better than you in every way. And he was like, how about in the water? And now they race it in the water. I don't know what this is supposed to prove, but okay, fine. Lord Jesus. So they're racing in the pool, and then almost toward the end, he gets a cramp in his leg and he starts drowning. The other little boys, they're not even paying attention because they egging Luis on so he can win the race. He done drop down to the bottom of the pool. And all of a sudden, David is standing outside of the pool with glasses on in full uniform, looking at him, looking at the friends, looking at himself at the bottom of the pool. They doing all that celebrating, not understanding that he's drowning right now. And then all of a sudden, it turns into the grown version of him. And then you see him talking to JG and talk about you play too much. And next thing you know, he wakes up. It's again at 3:27. And he gets a phone call from his mama. Talk about your brother. You need to get to the hospital right now. And that's how the episode ended. That was a lot for my brain to process. I'm glad I have the next episode to go directly into. So I'm not left with this cliffhanger for a whole damn week because I would have been upset. But it's a lot. This was a lot. This episode was a lot. It really had me in my feelings. But that was my review recap. Please, sirs and ma'ams, like the video, comment, and subscribe. Do all the YouTube things. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace.